Hey everybody, Bryan Broaddus here, and welcome back to the Scout's Eye. A disappointing loss to the Minnesota Vikings. My scout buddy Voch Lombardi and I are here to break it down for you. Voch, this one was, as we went into the week, we were talking about the different looks that Brian Flores would give to you from an offensive standpoint for the Cowboys. But then you also had a situation where a young quarterback actually played pretty well in a game, and that was kind of a difference maker for you.
Yeah, man. Brother Flus let Nas down. It is what it is, man. You know, Flores rolled up on him, said, bust a move, and then what's his name, rolled up and said, do a little something. And I just don't think Flus rose to the occasion, Brian. But I'll tell you what, man, a common theme that we notice here, and I hope this ain't enough to make Jerry Jones say, well, come back next year and build on that. Mm-hmm. Man, Brian, I like to spoil my audience here. I like to put the down and distance on top of the screen.
Yes, sir.
Let us know where we at quarter and time-wise. Brian, I don't know what it is about Bro Flus to where we'll come out and we'll do something that works. Uh-huh. And we'll just totally go away from it. Like, not even just kind of work, like big-ass plays, it works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But just looking down bottom, Brian, you got your infamous look that's been working for you.
You five-man line.
Man downs.
Yeah.
No problem. Me and you talked about Logan Wilson. You mentioned it on your show. I mentioned it on mine. Couple of things there. We don't have as much space here. A little long, but it's second and 4. We ain't doing nothing else. I'm gonna run this play. We'll come back and break it down, talk about it a little bit. J.J. McCarthy is a young quarterback, Brian Broaddus. And typically what happens with these teams is they want these young quarterbacks to get the ball out their hand real quick.
They sure do.
They don't want them to do a whole bunch of thinking. Now, Brian, if I'm playing against a young quarterback that's gonna get the ball out quick, I'm gonna do a lot of nonsense up front. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get hands up. These guys in here, I want hands up. Yep. And maybe I have a little less space right there because in my mind, something quick coming, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if your down and distance is second and 4. But Flus, in this defense where you can't get pressure with 4, we see a lot of success of him blitzing characters. I kind of like what he did here in this situation here. Like, he'll play Donovan over this character. Right. If I'm an older quarterback, maybe I'll look at Donovan like, hey, Donovan, you can't be in man coverage for real. Why your eyes back here? Right. If you in man coverage for real, but you're a young quarterback. Right. Maybe he didn't look at Donovan Wilson's eyes like that. But anyway, Donovan Wilson walks it down, and Brian, immediately we get pressure. Now, your pressure look comes from the 1-1-1-1. Donovan Ezeraku was one of your guys. Right. But we always talk about simulating, right? So we'll drop Donovan Ezeraku back out here, and we're going to continue to bring Donovan Wilson there. Fantastic stuff. So backside. Yeah. Backside here. Well, let me go back. Backside, just in case he was looking at one of these guys here. Mm-hmm. You got Donovan Ezeraku running out to the flats here. This cornerback coming down. So we got that covered up real nice, Brian. You do. Pressure up front. Let me show you another thing that I kind of noticed here. And this is something we just been talking about a couple of weeks. Logan Wilson, look at when he decides to gain ground, Brian. 1, 2, it's a pass, I'm gone. Yeah. Immediately. Right. Immediately. Right. No hesitation at all. He ain't jumping around. Yeah. He's getting to his zone. Boom, boom. He's going to come down. He's going to come over immediately. So I feel like even if J.J. McCarthy were to get the ball out there, Logan Wilson is on it. Right. If Logan Wilson wasn't there, Broaddus, and let's say Donovan didn't get his hands up, now look at the space. The wide receiver can make a catch and maybe get some yak there. Right. But Logan Wilson was there, so that didn't happen. Brian, boom. We got all kind of pressure around him. Pocket collapsing. Quentin Williams catch the interception. Yeah. Now, Brian, I don't know why our brother Flus saw this successful of a play. Sure. Putting pressure on J.J. McCarthy. Right. Because Flores put pressure on Dak the whole game. Entire game. I would have loved it if our guy Flus would have put pressure on the rookie, the young quarterback. Right. Basically a rookie, J.J. McCarthy, the entire game. But he didn't. Yeah. I'll tell you what, it was a really nice disguise, too. You mentioned about the eyes, and McCarthy knows where he wants to go with the ball here, though. Mm-hmm. I mean, when the way that Wilson's going to start cheating down here on as you run the play forward, see him, he's cheating. McCarthy knows where he's going to go with the football. You already start to see the rotation at the top with Hooker going over. And then you mentioned how quickly, though, that Logan Wilson was able to get out to the flat as well. Yeah. And good job at the bottom here of kind of taking care of everything. You've got Overshown in coverage, Revels in coverage, Ezeraku's in coverage. So you got everything taken care of the bottom. Really a nice design. Great job by Donovan Wilson of getting up and getting in the face. But you're absolutely right. There was
few and far between of the number of blitzes or the number of pressures that they were able to get, especially with the team. And this is what really bothers me about Flus.
Sure.
His four-man rush is not getting home. And he's not doing anything to create more opportunity. He's putting his corners and safeties in some terrible spots because his unwillingness to bring extra pressure, to bring that fifth rusher, where in fact in times in this game, and I'm sure you're going to show me, it works well, and it affects plays. But his unwillingness to do that is just maddening to watch.
Brian, I talked about, yesterday on different platforms over here or whatever, I talked about how Brian Flores elevates the talent of the guys that he has.
He does.
He gets everything out of those guys. Now, Brian, let's just have a conversation, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is Byron Murphy or if it's Isaiah Rodgers, but it really don't matter.
Yeah, that would be
7?
That's Murphy. That's Murphy up there. Yeah.
One-on-one, Byron Murphy can do nothing with George Pickens.
Not one-on-one, no.
Nothing with George Pickens. Brian, let's just pretend he didn't exist. None of these guys exist.
Yeah.
This is just 7, not even 7, one-on-one.
44 is Metellus, though, just for the safety, yeah.
One-on-one, Murphy can do nothing with Pickens.
Right.
But, Brian, what if you change the rules up a little bit? What if you change the rules and say, all right, Murphy, you're not responsible for Pickens by yourself because Pickens can go in any direction.
Any direction, yeah.
He can go deep. He can go short. If that was the case, Murphy's whooped every time.
Right.
Let's just run the play, and we'll come back and talk about it. And when people hear me say Flores is getting everything out of his guys,
right.
I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by Flores getting everything out of his guys. Let's just say Flores was talking to Murphy here.
Yep.
He said, Murphy, don't worry about nothing back here.
Right.
Don't really worry about nothing outside.
Right.
Because if it's outside, it's eventually going to go behind you.
Right.
If Murphy had to worry about every direction, left, right, diagonal, front, back, Pickens is much better than him.
Sure.
But if Murphy's only job was to go, hey, you're responsible for inside of Pickens.
Right.
Inside route, anything going inside.
Right.
Hitches to the inside, digs, slants, that's what you're responsible for.
Right.
Now, Murphy gets to play with so much confidence because he knows he got somebody far inside and behind him, Brian. Let's just run it back a little bit and just talk about how they dealt with Pickens here. Boom. Now, Brian, this ain't necessarily GP being triple teamed.
Right.
But just in case Pickens ends up there, we got a guy there.
Right.
Just in case Pickens worked to the outside and up, we got a guy there.
Right.
Now, Flores just don't come out and tell you, hey, y'all, this what we doing. Flores giving this, hey, y'all, it's one high.
Yeah.
You can throw deep against this if you want to.
Yeah.
You eat one high for cover 0, cover 1. You can throw deep against this, right?
Yeah.
We're going to get a slow rotation, and immediately he's going to open up his hips.
Yeah.
Immediately. If this was a true cover 1, he'll be responsible for both sides of the field, Brian Broaddus. If he was true middle field guy, then he could go that way.
Right.
He could go that way. That ain't what Flores is doing.
No.
Flores is saying, look, you might start right there, and really, I think he started a little bit. Yeah, he started a little more down, Brian, because he's playing games with Dak the entire time.
He's playing Dak the whole time, right?
Dak and Pickens. So, Brian, he's really it looks like cover 0 for real.
Right.
Then he's shifting back. All right, it's cover 1 I was playing.
Yeah.
All for you to then be like, at the snap of the football, I'm immediately turning my hips and I'm helping with anything behind Murphy. Now, if Pickens don't run that way, then all right, I'll just bring my eyes back inside.
Right.
But Brian, if you're Byron Murphy, imagine how much more confident you are thinking, all right, it's a slant and that's all I got to cover.
Yep.
All I got to do is be physical with you at the line of scrimmage and it's a slant. Even if you outpower me in the slant, because Pickens will take the one-on-one and say, cool, just because you on me don't mean that you got me. You still got a little more help to the inside. Yeah. That's how Brian Flores gets the most out of his guys, Brian. It ain't just Byron Murphy whooping George Pickens on a slant.
Yeah.
Because look, let me tell you one more thing that could have happened. Even if George Pickens was like some Amari Cooper level route runner where he's faking outside stuff and then going back inside, it don't matter because if you're Byron, that's all you got to worry about. I got help to the inside and behind me. So that's why you can have an inferior corner like Byron Murphy covering Pickens, Brian.
You know who I blame for this play right here?
Who's that?
I blame Brian Schottenheimer.
Tell me why.
How many times have we seen Dallas coming off their own goal line
run
slants?
Every time.
This is
It's on film.
There needs to be a tendency breaker here.
Yeah.
There needs to be. You give us the down and distance. What is it? 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, first quarter.
This is Brian Schottenheimer. As much as we love Brian Schottenheimer, the play caller, this is Brian Schottenheimer setting up. Minnesota's playing. You walked us through it beautifully. Minnesota is prepared for a 2nd and 10 slant off your goal line.
Yeah.
He's shown that all year long. That's their way of kind of trying to get him some space. They've done this all year long. So to me, Minnesota studied you up, and they're looking at they're saying, 2nd and 10, where are they going to go here? Well, they're going to go to the slant because they've done it all year long.
Yep.
This is something that Brian Schottenheimer, and it might be too late, he needs to break this tendency right now. Because he's setting, and it's not about getting his guys. Brian Flores helped his guys. You know why? Because he knows the tendency is long yardage coming off the goal line. It's going to be a slant to George Pickens. We could go back and pull all those plays. We could go back and pull probably 5 or 6 of these exact scenarios. This is where Brian Schottenheimer has to be better as a play caller.
Brian, what if I told you there was another element that the Vikings threw into this to make Dak throw it to Pickens, to make Flores throw it to Pickens? How about this? If you Dak Prescott and you're reading defense right now, right? That is Nate Thomas right there.
Yep.
That's GP out there.
Right.
So to the left side of the field, you only got one receiver right there.
Right.
Brian, why all these characters over there if it's only one guy over there?
It's the tendencies.
Because you bring him, watch this. Because this guy, if I'm Dak, I should be looking at this guy and be like, bro, you ain't covering no damn body.
Yeah.
He's actually blitzing.
Yeah.
And by rule, if you know Dak's a great quarterback versus blitz, you throw into the blitz, right?
Right.
Brian, Dak, they probably made Dak see that. And they probably brought this guy to make Dak throw into the blitz, knowing that this was a trap set to get the ball out quick to Pickens and knowing that they got help.
They've got everything taken care of at the bottom. I mean, everything's taken care of at the bottom. So that, to me, this, like I say, you beautifully described what Brian Flores did. Brian Flores is just reading what Brian Schottenheimer's doing. Yeah, I mean, he's playing your tendencies.
We throw into the blitz.
We're throwing
at goal line.
We're coming off the slant with Pickens. It's the simplest route they run.
Oh, Brian, I wish my defense coordinator. All we do is
that guy. We learned yesterday that guy's up. His contract's up. You learned that one yesterday.
All we do is blitz Leofold and don't come back to it.
Just run that thing in the A gap and hope for the best.
Brian, the Cowboys been doing. They did something fine. And I don't want to be praising the defense all that much. It's something we've been looking at on film for weeks.
Sure.
The old slant front linebacker come up and field.
Right.
This is the first time I've actually
it actually worked?
Right.
All right, here we go.
They actually did it right, bro.
Yeah.
And look, I hate to do something positive here, but I'm like, hey, y'all finally got it 16 weeks in a row here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or the 15th week here, Brian. And, just a show of rallying to the ball. You're going to get a quick turn from Osa. I'm seeing a lot of that rip and shoulder turn from Osa. I'm not liking it.
Yeah.
Because
right here it gets washed. He's been getting really washed on some of the film. Yeah.
Brian, if they would have found a way to pin Ezra and sweep that thing to the outside, I'd be sick.
Yeah.
But it just happened to work out for him. We're gonna get slants up front. Even as Raku's gonna slant. Something I always talk about, Brian, is that if you're an edge guy and they're gonna double our guys, you need to be able to whip the tight end.
Right.
Donovan Ezraku consistently whooping the tight end, but he's still getting inside.
Yeah.
Overshown coming up and field. Kenneth Murray's going to come up and, be around and, help and stuff like that. But good team tackle, Brian. I just wanted to point out we finally got it right 15 weeks.
If you flip it back to, if I could, let me ask you a question just scheme-wise, though.
Yes, sir.
Do you kind of feel like that maybe, and this is maybe a little nitpicky, but you mentioned about the ball potentially bouncing to the outside.
Sure.
Is Overshown a little late? I mean, to me, it seems like when there's going to be down, you need to be right there, right?
Overshown should be downhill immediately.
Immediately, yeah. Right. I mean, there's a chance. I mean, he does a great job of playing off and getting outside, but I kind of felt like, though, if you're going to fill that thing and you're worried about the bounce, exactly. Just a little bit, good job by him. Good job of Ezra.
Yeah.
Think about Ezra playing the run really, really well. We'll do another show about the pass rush stuff. I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, man, Donovan Ezra was just much better as a rundown guy.
Right now he is, yeah.
Brian, I wanted to show you another look, man, and I'm kind of dealing with GP, man. Some people think that GP just out there being lazy, Brian.
Yeah.
It says a lot about what these other teams think about him.
Right.
Like they want to take him out the game, right?
Sure.
Brian, this look that they rolling out could be a lot of things. You know, you can look at it as, you know, if you want to call it 4, then fine.
Right.
If you want to call it cover 6, where he's just kind of in the flats,
right.
boom, boom,
right.
boom, where it's 4 on this side and it's cover 2 right there. If you want to call it that, then fine. But the look that they start with is never the look that they're going to end with, bro.
Never happens.
It's never the look that they're going to end with. And this is George Pickens up here. Mm-hmm. I just want to run the play, and then we'll come back and just talk about it. Let's just get the result of the play first, and we'll come back and talk about it. You already see the look is totally different now.
Yeah.
You see this guy walk down here. Let's just keep on running here. What you bailing out for, player?
Yeah.
What you bailing out for? Now it's a whole nother party. Boom. If you Dak Prescott, similar look, but it's totally different. You still got 4 guys high, Bryan Broaddus.
Right.
But now you got this guy down here.
Right.
He wasn't there at first.
Right.
Also, too, we just talking about the Pickens rules at the snap of the football, Brian. We just talking. At the snap of the football, boom, 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 high safety, he's going to immediately turn his shoulders and go, hey, what you doing back there?
Right.
So if you the corner down here, all you got to do, Pickens in front.
Right.
And if Pickens goes inside, you got a guy here.
Right.
Same concept, and they kept doing this to you.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do but throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb.
Right.
And it worked. Hey,
it
look.
did. It did.
CeeDee get his yards. Or, Brian, if you want to bail all these dudes out of here, just run the football.
Yeah.
So that might be why the Vikings are a team to where they'll give up some run stuff.
Yeah.
Or they may give up some wide receiver 2 stuff.
Right.
But if they want to take a guy out of the game, Brian, they're going to find a way to be weird and take him out of the game. Now, Pickens, all he was running right here, not nothing crazy, but just a little short out. But in the event, even if it was an out and up, they made sure. Let me just bring it back so we can get eyes on 55 right here. Let me just go boom, boom, boom. Right there. 55 was up in A gap, Brian.
Yeah, mugging. Yep.
Up in A gap and ran his ass out there just in case.
Yeah.
Because look, GP got 3 routes.
Yeah.
And GP will tell you in his latest interview, I run 3 routes, y'all. I run slants. We may do a comeback, and we do the 9 ball.
Yeah.
Flores and them covered up every single thing, Bryan Broaddus. On top of the idea that they can likely get some guys up front to pressure you.
Right.
Brian, it's so interesting. I mentioned this earlier. Take a look at CeeDee Lamb down bottom. They just look at how easy it is for CD. Look at how easy CD's job is. All he got to do is clear one guy.
Clear guys, yeah.
All you got to do is
find the windows,
Now, just in case CD did something short, I mean, you had a guy to kind of drop back in that range, Brian.
Yeah.
You had this linebacker here to kind of drop back in that range.
Right.
But, Brian, they just really putting a small hand on CD, and they letting CD cross.
Right.
Imagine this world where they letting CD get off.
No, absolutely.
But if that's going to be the game, just let CD get off. But they're taking GP away.
Right.
And, people chalking it up as GP being lazy or he's just getting whooped.
No, it's it's a couple different ways, though. I like what you're showing about the linebacker stuff in the flat. I think the thing that I noticed in the tape when watching this game was how many times you saw where it was almost like a robber in the middle of between the safeties. So they're taking away the deep cross
in the middle,
and they're taking away the middle of the crosses, like the shallow crosses and stuff like that. So they kind of got you wired up a little bit there.
Brian, I get so ungrateful when I see good defenses do cool stuff.
Yeah,
and we just slant the front and just blitz over.
Sure, yeah.
We didn't do that right. Brian, this kind of what they did to Dak.
Yeah,
they didn't care.
No.
Dak's the best quarterback in the league versus the blitz.
He is.
He's just going to keep on running. And look, you might hit a big play on us.
Yeah.
You might hit a big play on us, but what's going to happen is we got free runners.
Right.
And with us having free runners, man, we can get our hands up.
Yeah.
We could be aggressive. We could jam guys up at the line of scrimmage. On this 2nd and 10, we get to be aggressive with Lamb. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And look, it may be one-on-one, and you may beat us.
Right.
You may get a big play. You might score.
Right.
Brian. But I like that Flores dealt with the likelihood.
Yeah.
If I blitz you most of the time, the likelihood is you're going to make an errant throw and that you're going to miss. There's more bad to happen with me blitzing you every play than me sitting back.
Right.
If I sit back on Dak throwing the football, you get ate up.
Yeah.
If I'm putting no pressure on Dak, you get whooped all day, every day. And Brian, there were times where Flores and them walk down. This probably covers zero look because everybody down here, and Dak will hit a play the Turpin.
Sure.
He hit a play the CD Lamb or the Ferguson or whatever. But man, they just kept walking dudes down there, and I'm ungrateful, Brian. I wish I had a DC that'll do something that work.
Yeah.
Keep on doing it, Brian.
Yeah. I tell you what, that to me though, you mentioned about. I mean, this was going to be a challenge coming into this game with Dak and how he was going to be able to have to set protection. I do feel like though the fact that Williams and Hunter Lipke at times in this football game were out of the lineup.
Yeah.
I think Malik Davis, there were maybe 13 pass reps where he had that was a good one actually right there of a pickup. But I think in 13 pass drops he had 4 pressures right there, whereas Hunter Lipke and Williams didn't have any. So to me, that's sometimes you catch somebody with the right personnel groups out there, and in this case though, Dallas was kind of doing the best that they could.
Man, Brian, I got one more to show you, man, about how they dealt with GP, man. And Brian, it's basically a lot of the same, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we got GP down bottom. We got GP down bottom here. And just imagine the confidence that you end up playing with as a defense when your coordinator got you all the way covered. This one of your examples right here, Brian. You was talking about it ended up being too high right here.
Right.
It ended up boom. Too high, and you basically got a guy just kind of Tampa 2 robbing it.
The robber,
but you keep your 2 high guys or whatever, right? So you're
they make the linebacker the second safety, and they put Harrison Smith down there in the box, as you mentioned, is not the box, but the middle of the field as the robber.
Yeah, so
good design.
So think about this: he's coming from here all the way back there,
right?
And you got this guy buzzing out. Yeah. So anything over the middle of the field, it looks like it's there, but it ends up not being there.
Yeah.
But because it's so much window dress, it is really not there.
Right.
But you could throw the ball if you want to.
Right.
But it's so much change and it's so much back and forth, so much back and forth. But what they really ended up doing really well was taking outside the numbers away. Yeah. They really put dudes outside the hashes, outside the numbers. And they really took a lot of routes from you by just moving guys around and running guys out late. Because honestly, Brian, they'll tell you how you beat cover 2 is you either throw the ball right there, right there, or right there. Right. Man, you drop this cat back there in the middle. you mess up any kind of traffic right here. You just limit an option. So now you go, okay, well, I guess if GP runs a corner right here, we could hit it. But did you call that? Right. And you likely didn't even call that.
Yeah, you didn't. And see, this, if you could run the whole play there, to me, this right here, the protection, they've got everything kind of protected up here. They got Hunter Lipke steps up. Dak is looking already on the outside. Now he's having to go back to the inside. It's a good throw inside the first. But think about this though, pre-snap, and this is maybe where the chess match was a struggle. Yeah, that's a linebacker on the hash up there.
Yes, sir.
If all of a sudden it's Ryan Flanoy up top. That's the time to take the whole shot, right? Yeah. Because you got a linebacker that's going to have to cover depth. If it's a safety, it's a little bit different throw. The way the that the cornerback is set, if you run the play forward, watch why they're looking inside, but they're kind of trying to funnel things to the inside. So here you got a guy turn, stop right there. This to me, I'm running that route with Flanoy. I'm trying to get that thing vertical. Yeah. I'm taking the whole shot. He did hit a whole shot against his team
with CD.
With CD. Yeah. If you read linebacker
right there
as the safety,
you go get that guy.
Go get that guy.
Go get that guy.
That's not a guy that's used to playing at depth and playing off a hash like that. They're gambling right now. Usually when Dallas, and it's funny all year long, you can look at the metrics. When Lamb and Pickens play on the same side, they're not as good. Right. Their yard when they're apart, they're probably 8-9 yards a reception better than when they play on the same side. But to me, again, this was, if I'm Dak and you're going to drop a linebacker there, and I'm Flanoy, I'm taking the whole shot. Yeah, I'm hitting it right there because I don't think you could get over and make the play.
You can't.
But he throws it underneath to Ferguson, and they get positive yards where maybe he had a little bit better shot. But this goes into what what Brian Flores has kind of done. He's affected Dak in a way of like, I've just got to get rid of the football.
Yep.
I've just got to go try and make a play, right?
And honestly, Brian, he's done that to every quarterback that they've played against this year. Like, like these offenses you respect,
right?
Whether it be the Packers, Lions, Seahawks, Ravens, Eagles, they hold those dudes to right around 25, 26 points. You know what I'm saying? So you put up 26. That's about what they give up. You make your field goals. That's 32. That's plenty.
Right.
These dudes don't give up nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No. There was some things that Flores did that man we all admire, but defensively, you're right. You got a big letdown, but that's kind of what it's been really all year.
That's what it's been, man. Dak and them wasn't perfect, but it wasn't horrible.
Exactly.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, Voch. Great breakdown. Reason a lot of people out there asking, hey, why is George Pickens struggling? And Voch did a great job right there breaking it down for you, the way that the coverages are, the way that some of the tendencies. I think Brian Schottenheimer's really got to get out of some of these tendencies and maybe more than 3 routes for sure. All right, that'll do us for the Scout's Eye. Again, thank you for being with us. Make sure you're checking out all our platforms. Our guy, Voch Lombardi, he's got his stuff up on Crown Global Media as well, the individual things. He's doing a lot of great stuff over on his platform as well. So we will see you next time on the Scout's Eye.